Hello guys, it's me. I have something very important to show you. So God is showing people what I done. Let me show you what that means. So the Lord showed this guy an earthquake hitting the west coast, and he is connected. But if you watch Mount Shasta clearing that I did in the Return of Christ work, we have part 1 where I started to remove all the souls from it and clear it out. And then in part 2, and I undid a lot more stuff in part 1. And then in part 2, right here, Mt Shasta clearing 2, AA Samael burned. He was the original fallen. He was actually housed underneath Mt Shasta. And in this one, all darkness removed from Mt Shasta. I cut off life support to California. It cracked down the mountainside. California falls in the water and a large tsunami occurs. So you might want to watch this one with observation, not as a spectator, because people are now seeing in larger sums what I did and what's to come, because it is part of the Return of Christ work. Okay, straight up part of the Return of Christ work. And then after I did it, so I did Mt Shasta part 2 in July. Oh, look at that, 1 year ago. I did Mt Shasta part 2. In it was very painful for me to do because my twin flame was supposed to be with me. In part 1, that was done way back when I first started, probably in 2020. I cleared Mt Shasta. Lots of souls came out of it. I undid contracts back to Abraham Lincoln, which was the Emancipation Proclamation, which was not of light. And a lot more things came through in that one. And then after that, I activated a pyramid in Fiji, and I returned the God portal back to Fiji. Fiji part 2 is only in the path to righteousness, where it will remove you from the collective rise and bring you through ahead of the game. But shortly after I did Mt Shasta part 2, where I cracked, I cut off all of life support to California in here. It cracked from Mt Shasta all the way down the fault line. California fell into the water, and then a huge tsunami comes up over the bridge, but it's not the Golden Gate one. I believe it's San Francisco. After I did that, in this video, God is showing people what I have done. The Alwyn guy, his name is Alwyn. He's in a wheelchair. He speaks through God. He got a download exactly of what I did as well, and about California and what's to come. So people are seeing it now. And then I also did a video that describes what that means. Mt Shasta, what does it mean when I say I cleared it and cut off life support to California? There is absolutely no life support to California right now. When I say this stuff, it's not a joke, okay? You have to watch these videos, and you have to watch them diligently. And in other pyramid activations and things that I have done lately, I spoke very loudly about stuff happening under the water in California that you don't see. And on my channel, in my communities tab recently, let me show you. So I was showing you the Ascension playlist, which is all the Return of Christ work that played out through me that I didn't see coming. But on my communities tab, even recently, I showed you a video that there's land movement, cracking roads, sinking homes in California. It is like moving, I think, a foot a week or something like that. So there's a lot happening in California right now that they're not telling you. I do believe they're aware. But now even this gentleman right here is showing what's going to happen on the West Coast. It was part of the Return of Christ, you guys. Mt Shasta was not of light at all. I also did this one right here. Was very important. I've undone the Holy Grail, activated pyramids all over the globe. And what I've been trying to tell you guys is if you don't allow judgments to get in the way and you're watching these videos, you're going to know what the portals are. You're going to know what's coming in the earth. But you guys, people are actually getting downloads of what's coming due to the work that I did. So you can see the Return of Christ work in my playlist on my channel. And it happened and unfolded through me. exactly in the way in which the return of Christ should have been. But it's not just what they told you in religion, right? So his soul was freed first. I saw how he died, Jesus. I sat on Saturn and rose Atlantis before. Then I cleared Mount Shasta Part 1. Then I activated Pyramid in Fiji, which eventually was the God portal that I opened up. Then I started clearing the sun. And then this one takes you on an ascension pathway. Then I eliminated the false negative pull on the moon, but this is only part of it. The rest is in the path to righteousness. That's not meant for everybody, so it's not just right here, but this is a majority of it. I had to undo the false concept of time. Prometheus told you what was gonna come. These are also pyramid activations, all the feminine ones all over the world. Then the Sphinx, like I said, then I started clearing dark shadows all over the earth. And I activated dormant chakra systems in the earth. All of these things are the return of Christ playing out. But the resistance is going to try to stop you. I also brought down the blood of Christ. This is when I undid the Holy Grail and united Jesus and Mary Magdalene. That's the actual resurrection that occurred on Christmas Day of 22. Then more anchoring in the moon, solar eclipse eliminations, taking us into 7D, Pleiades galaxy, activating the masculine pyramids, first one in Ecuador, and so on, okay? Then they said, oh, Sekhmet's coming, so the timeline was Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. Then I dried the Nile, cleared Mt Shasta Part 2, AA Samael burned, and then it just kept going. Then all of a sudden, I processed the Earth's death, took her into New Earth, which is the Garden of Eden. So this is pretty cool. Then finally, my new twin flame, because I got a walk-in, Jesus' soul was able to unite with his, and it just kept going. Okay, and I talk about what does it mean? What was Mount Shasta? It was the false veil. Okay, and those who choose not to see just won't make it, my friends. So don't let judgment stop you. Horus returning, what did that mean? He was actually buried where the Sphinx was. That's where he died. That's where his soul was. And I freed it. And then on the eclipse, I called everybody home. Okay, so this is truly the return of Christ. The Incas and Mayans were reborn. But you guys, something so cool is somebody is seeing right here. The Lord showed me an earthquake hitting the West Coast. Prophetic word. Warning. Okay. Now I wanted to put this out really quickly. Please check out the videos on my channel. You have to watch them. They are actual workshops. Okay. And I've been saying this repeatedly, but until enough people are awake, how are you going to know what to do, my friends? Because even religion was a false concept. And California is not safe. All life support was cut off. So much love.